Hello, this is Jenny Kassan here. I'm here to lay down the law about how to get your business funded on your own terms. And today I thought it would be kind of fun to share a little bit about step one in my book. So my book has 6 steps. And if you go through each of those 6 steps, you will have a pretty good plan for how to raise money for your business in a way that's customized to your particular situation, is not a cookie cutter approach, and kind of increases the likelihood, one, that you will get the investment that you want and not waste a lot of time chasing down investments that are not a good fit and probably are just very hard for you to get because they're not a good fit. And also that when you do get the money, that you'll be in good alignment with your investors so that there isn't a conflict between what you want for your life and your business and what your investors want. So step one, I love all the steps, but step one is really, really important, maybe my favorite step, because it asks you to take a step back and really think about what's important to you about your business. We call it, what do we even call it? Get clear on your goals and values. That's the name of step one. And there's so much to that. I mean, the book, covers a bunch of things about that, but you could spend quite a lot of time and thought on this question. Because the more clear you are about what's important to you about your business, both currently and in the long term, and how your business is perceived in the world, how you benefit from the business, how other people benefit from the business, the more you really think that through and get clear on what's important to you, the easier it will be for you to raise money and do it in a way that's going to be a good thing for the business in the long term, because you will just have had that opportunity to really get clear on those things that should be your main considerations when raising money. If you're jumping out and raising money without thinking about what effects that money might have on your business and your life and your future, you may not be able to raise money at all because you haven't given enough thought to what is a good fit for you. And two, if you do raise money, it's likely to end up being a bad fit that could make life really miserable for you and make you wonder, why the hell did I even raise this money? My business was so great before I raised this money, and now I'm stressed all the time and things aren't working out, and maybe I'm going to get fired from my own business. So I'm just going to quickly say a few of the pieces of step one. You could write a whole book about just step one. But basically, we talk about your values, what's really important to you about your business and how it operates in the world. What are those things that are important to you as the founder? So some examples could be we really never want to exploit our workers. We always want to pay our workers a living wage. We want to pay above minimum wage. Anything like that, anything that's just a value that you want to be embedded in your business over the long term, maybe even beyond when you are running it. And then your goals, what's important to you? And there's many subsets of goals, like goals for yourself. What do you want your lifestyle to be like? Do you want to take all of August off every year to go to the lake cabin and just relax with the kids? So that's personal goals. But what about goals for the business? What do you see as the long-term plan for the business? Do you want the business to get sold as quickly as possible so that you can move on and do something else? Do you want to run it for the foreseeable future and you don't really necessarily want to have to be pressured to sell it before you're ready? Do you want to convert it into a worker co-op or a consumer co-op? Or there's something people have been talking about lately called exit to community, which means that you're going to eventually sell your interest in your business to the community, just regular folks who can become investors in your business. So, what are your long-term goals for how you're going to exit from the business? Is the business just going to get sold and gobbled up by a multinational corporation, or will it continue to exist on its own? What will that look like? Um, and then, so goals have to do with kind of medium term, long term for yourself, your family, the business itself, your co-founder. How does that all play into the kinds of investment you want to bring in? Let's see, there's another category which is related to these, which I call non-negotiables. And these are things that go kind of beyond your goals and values. They're things that you are so important to you that you will not negotiate on it no matter what. So is there anything about your business or about your lifestyle or any of the principles that your business operates by that you feel should be non-negotiable? That, for example, maybe you make a certain type of food, and what you're all about is natural food. So a non-negotiable for you might be, no matter what happens, no matter how big we get, no matter if we sell the company, it is non-negotiable for me that I never want there to be any natural flavorings in this product, because I think natural flavorings are bull, and I think the minute a product has natural flavorings in it, it's no longer truly a natural product. That could be one example. So just list, and or maybe a non-negotiable might be getting into a situation where you could be fired from your own business when you're not ready to leave. So think about all your non-negotiables. And then, another part of getting clear on your goals and values is thinking about, like, what do you see happening in your business over time, which is going to help you figure out how much to raise. So part of the goals and values step is also figuring out how much to raise, how much money you should be looking to raise. And that's an important decision, because if you raise too much, you could find yourself kind of overextended trying to meet meet what you said it would happen for investors, like meeting what their expectations are, to the detriment of other aspects of the business. But then again, if you raise too little, you could find yourself in a situation where you just don't have enough money to take your business to where it needs to go. So, creating financial projections for the future of your business is a really, really important part of getting clear on your goals and values. Because I feel like there's nothing more important. I always say that, and then I'm like, but then there's this other thing. But anyway, one of the most important things to do for your business is creating financial projections for the next 5 to 10 years. And, obviously it's so hard to predict what's going to happen, but the exercise of doing it, even if you never show it to anyone, just the way that it requires you to think about what is likely to happen. What are my costs going to be like? Who am I going to have to hire? How much am I going to have to pay them? Am I going to have to open like a second location? Am I going to outsource to another country? All these things that are going to have to be reflected in your financial projections. Going through that exercise of thinking those through, and you don't have to create just one. You can create more than one so that you can see how different scenarios affect the long-term outcomes, or financial growth or performance of your business. And what's super helpful about that, of course, is once you start to get more comfortable with what is likely to happen over the next several years, that's going to give you a big clue as to how much you should be raising now and whether you may need to raise more later. I love helping people raise enough now so that they maybe never have to raise again, or they have a long break between having to raise now and having to raise later, because being able to take a break from raising is nice, because then you can really focus on the business. Raising money can take a lot of time. So figuring out, like, what do you need to get to a milestone where you could be, running off of the money you raised and the revenue you're generating for a while before you need to raise more. Or maybe you never need to raise more because you could raise enough now to do what you need to do to be able to reach break even. So those are the main parts of step 1 in my book, Get Clear on Your Goals and Values. And again, I just think any entrepreneur who's thinking about raising money should take some serious time to think this through, ask themselves these questions, talk to friends and people that are close to you about, what needs to be important to you on your path to growing your business and raising money. Because when you're out there trying to get money, sometimes it can be easy to forget those things because you're just wanting the money. But it's so not worth it to take money that isn't a good fit. It's just, I know so many people that regret that. So I hope that was helpful. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.